SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
I don't have to tell you that it's hot outside, but did you know your tires and oil degrade faster in hot weather? That's why it's important for you to pay a visit to Summit's Auto Center, Exhaust Pro Tire and Lube. We make tire replacement easy at Exhaust Pro with the Auto Pass Card. 1131 Highway 51 in Summit.
And now, Sports.
Get ready, sports fans. It's time for Chasing Foul Balls on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5 and streaming worldwide on the SuperTalk Mississippi app and on your Amazon Alexa devices. Chasing Foul Balls, your weekly source for all the sports news and interviews important to Southwest Mississippi. Chasing Foul Balls is presented by First Bank. And now, here's your host, Robbie Hamilton.
Well, good Friday morning, everybody. The Friday edition of Chasing Foul Balls right here on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5. Glad to have you along with us. Our guest this morning, one of my good friends of the program, Mr. Deke Belavia, the Big Chief, will join us. And also with us this morning, the voice of ESPN Plus for the Southern Miss Golden Eagle Baseball, Jason Baker, will be here. Glad to have a chance to talk to both of those guys. Also with us this morning, to my right, Mr. Neil Randall, the professor. How are you, sir?
Oh, just glad to be back with you guys. I miss seeing Richard, but he's not wearing his overalls today.
No, he did that, he said, in honor of you.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah. To my left, TP himself, Richard A.
Morning, everybody.
Oh, guys, it's a kind of a strange 2 days. Today, Friday the 13th. Tomorrow, Valentine's Day. So, Friday the 13th. Superstition, do you have any?
Not really.
You don't?
No.
Neil, any superstitions?
Probably should be, but I'm not.
What about Valentine's? You all set and fixed and ready to go?
As set as I'm going to be, yeah.
What about you, Richard?
Well, since
the stores are still open, I realize that.
Last night we made a trip to Central Alabama and met my son from Georgia and picked up his two daughters, my two granddaughters. So now I don't only have one to take to Valentine's dinner, I have three to take to Valentine's dinner.
Nothing but money, big boy, nothing but money.
I've given them okay, y'all figure it out. So they're plotting as we speak.
Well, a couple of things at the top of the list to talk about this morning. One today is the opening day for Division I college baseball. Ole Miss will take on Nevada at 4 this afternoon. Mississippi State hosts Hofstra at 4. Southern Miss over in Hattiesburg taking on UC Santa Barbara, maybe the toughest game of the group. They play at 4 o'clock. LSU takes on Milwaukee at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and Jackson State at Prairie View has the final game of the day at 6 o'clock tonight. Richard, I know you like baseball. I tell you, it's one of the best times when college baseball opens up. What's your thoughts?
Except for a little chance of rain, I guess, between Saturday night and Sunday. Maybe one of the best opening weekends if we can get this fog out of the way. I don't know how. I'm sure it's foggy in Hattiesburg. I don't know about Oxford and Starkville. But it's always a big, big deal. And it's I don't say unfortunate that we open on Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock with a new coach and all the that surrounds that at Mississippi State, but I expect a pretty good crowd. There won't be many folks still working on campus probably around 2:30 or 3. They'll be headed to the ballpark.
Mr. Randall, what about you?
Oh, I think it's great. It's a great time of the year, and right now we're getting such good weather. Of course, Richard alluded to the fog, but it's baseball weather right now. I guess we got a cold snap coming at some point.
One more for sure.
Yeah, probably get that Easter cold snap for sure. But it's a great day to play baseball. And in Southwest playing today also.
Southwest plays at 12-3. They got Alvin Community College out of Texas over at Bear Park. New scoreboard up, I saw.
Yes, sir.
Boy, it's a good-looking thing.
It is that.
Try to get over this afternoon sometime. Richard, what do you expect out of State this year?
Well, Robbie, it's just right now there's a lot of anxiety, maybe call it uncertainty. Coach Brian O'Connor, one of the best coaches in the country, brought some very, very talented people with him from from Virginia, and a few transferred in. as I was thinking riding over here, expectations are always high at Mississippi State, as they are with our other universities and colleges here in this state because we have such a great baseball. So the expectations are there, but the uncertainty is right there with it. This is, as we all know, the SEC is a different animal. And but I think we'll be very, very good. It all starts on the mound. If we get the pitching that everybody says we will, we'll be fine.
Ole Miss, Dale, what do you see out of the Rebels?
Well, the Rebels aren't ranked very highly, or at least as highly as they are accustomed to going into the season. I think they'll be competitive. I hope they have a good year. But like Richard was saying about Mississippi State, expectations are high at all of these SEC schools.
And Ole Miss has won. If Hunter Elliott is the Hunter Elliott that he was 2 years ago, that will go a long ways to putting them a lot higher, as you said, Neil, but in their ranking.
If he can overcome the injury bug.
Yes.
Well, Richard, Southern Miss is for 9 years in a row now has 40 wins. They're looking for number 10 this year. What do you see out of the Golden Eagles?
I don't see any reason why not. They got one of the best rotations on the starting side. Coach Ostrander's always had a great pitching staff. I don't see any different. I guess the big concern, if you will, is they lost the shortstop, the second baseman, and the center fielder. That's the middle heart of your defense. And with the pitching that Southern Miss gets, the ball's in play a lot. So how they handle that early in the season, but I don't see Southern Miss not getting to 40 wins again and probably having a chance to host a regional or surely play in one.
Neil, LSU ranked at or near the top of the heap. What do you see out of the Tigers again this year?
The Tigers just reload. I haven't paid a lot of attention to them. I'm sure Deke can tell us a little more. But I understand they have a transfer first baseman that is 6'3" and 295 and has to hit it out of the park to get past first. But
to get to first, probably.
But when he hits it, you know it.
I'm surprised Kiffin hadn't tried to get him over to the football side. 6'3", 295.
Give him time.
Well, yesterday in the big city of Pittsburgh, Mississippi, it was the Ole Miss pep rally, or some people call it the court case for Chambliss, the quarterback. How do I start this? To me, guys, it turned into a pep rally. Some of the websites, the podcast carried it live, and I know the courtroom is full of Mississippi Ole Miss fans. Somebody help me. Should it have been this political to do this or not? Or am I just out in left field by myself?
It was a show. It was something that we all knew. We sat here last week, and I don't think any one of us believed that Trinidad wasn't going to get the injunction. But I was riding down the road. The judge talked for almost 2 hours to say what we all knew he was going to say at the end. And I just thought it's a lot of pomp and circumstance for something that we knew was going to happen 2 or 3 months ago.
Well, on the ride up here today, I was telling Robbie, and Robbie reminded me that the NCAA attorneys left before the verdict was handed down, or the injunction, whatever you want to call it, and they went on back to wherever
they left, and as soon as they finished their closing statements, they closed their books, packed it up, and went on home. They didn't even stay to hear the verdict. They knew what was going to happen.
One of the funnies yesterday was they packed up and had to get to Knoxville for the one that's going on today. And I said, well, they probably had a dinner reservation, and they knew what this one was going to do anyway, so they moved on. But there again, you don't even stay around to hear the verdict. You pretty much know what it's going to be.
Does the NCAA have any power?
No.
No, they can appeal this, but all Chambliss side will do now is just hold it up in court as long as they can, and then once football season's over, they don't care what the verdict is.
Exactly right.
So all they got to do is hold it up for 6 months, 7 months in court, and with court dates, that's no trouble at all. So. Yes, it's pretty well done now, and they can't do that. Of course, the NCAA yesterday morning, that was the funny part. Yesterday morning, they handed down to their verdict that Chambliss could not appeal again because he didn't have enough grounds to change what the committee would do. They said he's not eligible on, what was it, Thursday morning, and Thursday afternoon the court says he is eligible. So here we go. Welcome to the real world of college athletics. Holy mackerel. Super Bowl, guys. I don't know about y'all, but it was about as boring of a football game I've seen in a while, Richard.
Well, Rob, as we said here last week and we talked about it, the Patriots' inability to move the football or have any semblance of offense, coupled with the fact that Seattle's got the best defense in the NFL all year long for the most part. I thought the final score was going to be 12-0. I just didn't see any way that New England could score enough points. And like you said, it just became a ho-hum, I guess a lot of people might have tuned in to watch the commercials, or maybe somebody tuned in to watch the halftime show. I don't know. Not me.
Hey, y'all done hit another subject. The halftime show. Did you watch it?
I went to a Super Bowl party.
Big time.
One or two people watched the game. I won't call any names, but one of them's in Oxford this weekend. But most of we just watched the boards at the end of each quarter. So no, I did not.
What about you, Richard?
Robbie, I had it on, and like I said, it was not that entertaining unless you just like watching good defense. And I don't remember what else was on that, but I was flipping around, probably finding something else to watch. I think I watched I don't know if the Olympics were on. I guess that was the opening ceremony of the Olympics. I can't remember. But anyway, I did watch most of the game. Or at least I should say I had it on.
Did you watch the bunny?
No.
Oh, you didn't watch the bunny.
No.
Just interesting for you next year, guys. Super Bowl Sunday next year is Valentine's Day. And the day after Super Bowl Sunday next year is President's Day, which means everybody gets the day off after the Super Bowl next year.
They should just make that permanent.
Yeah, but everybody's always asking for it. You get to try it next year, see how it goes. Time for us to get out of here, go to our first guest. Before that, Shay Johnson, your neighbor, picked up his 200th win as the head coach of the Southwest Mississippi Community College Lady Bears softball team. And Neil David Dean is the new head coach of the Delta State Fighting Okra football team.
He's got quite a pedigree. He's won championships and at different levels, and I hope he can get the Fighting Okra back to the playoffs.
Big Chief Deke Belavia will join us next right here on Chasing Foul Balls. If you ain't listened on the air, just to go ahead and go to SuperTalkPikeCounty.com and you can hit on Listen Live and listen to it right there. Chasing Foul Balls right here on SuperTalk Pike County. Welcome back, Jason Foul Balls. Glad to be with you on this Friday morning. During the break, we were talking Olympics and curling. Do you really think Neil has a broom? He owns a broom?
He said he owns one. If he knows how to use it, I'm not sure.
Well, I don't have a curling broom.
I was going to say that's a special broom, but if you don't know how to use a regular broom, you can't use a curling broom.
I don't know how I get to this. On the phone with us, one of our favorite folks, the Big Chief himself, Deke Belavia. Hey, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
We doing fine. A couple folks want to say hello to you.
Deke,
right.
this is Neil. Good to hear your voice this morning, sir.
Hey, Deke.
Always good to hear from you, Neil.
Deke, this is Richard. It's so good to have you on and look forward to it.
Richard, you still pulling?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I hear you, man.
I'm trying to get Robbie and Neil to help me, but I ain't got no takers yet.
Hey, Deke, I've been thinking about putting my hand there, but I can't quite talk myself into it yet. Tell us about Lane Kiffin as the new head coach of the LSU Tigers. What's your feelings there, sir?
Well, tell you what, I mean, I don't know, you can't win any games in January and February, but I think up to this point, he's done just about everything he can do and then some. You know, he just got the big names. He brought that in. He did great in the portal. He signed all the players that he wanted to sign at the high school level. So, and he wound up getting 3 quarterbacks instead of 1. So, I think he's off to a good start now. How that translates into wins, ultimately we'll find that out.
Deke, this is Neil. What's your take on the state of the New Orleans Saints at this point?
You know, I think we've all gotten a lot more encouraged, especially toward the end of the season, because I kind of felt like that last game between Atlanta and New Orleans was more like the, I guess you would say, the quasi NFC South title, because by far they were playing the best out of Tampa, Atlanta, Carolina, and New Orleans. I think Atlanta and New Orleans were playing the best, and it really started off when Chubb got in there, and then they got the young tackle. They were both all rookie first team, according to the Pro Writers Association. So anytime you can get a quarterback and you go into a season and he doesn't look like, I wouldn't think, but it doesn't look like they have to have quarterback on your draft board. It may be something that's secondary now, but I think that's pretty good. I don't think anybody thought that Chuck was going to come out and do as good as he did. Now, you know, generally some of those guys that have good rookie years, sometimes they kind of fall back to the pack. You know, these older pros say, where they've got a bunch of tape on him now, because, you know, that really wasn't the case when he was coming out of college. I mean, he was close to drawing Social Security when he was at Louisville. And then, you know, but somehow that maturity, it seemed like it helped him on the field. And he's got a good deep touch on the ball. So I think you've got to be pretty excited about that position. And, you know, what they can do in the draft. They were able to pick up a few extra draft picks by trading Sheed to Seattle.
Deke, this is Richard. Thinking back about this past year, and maybe even the current one as we sit here, LSU had a down year for theirs. The Saints struggled early. We had some bright spots towards the end, as you just mentioned. The Pelicans, who knows? What's the overall vibe of the sports town of New Orleans right now, where their 3 most prominent athletic teams sit?
I mean, obviously the Saints are number one. If you're talking about the, you know, overall, it's probably tight between the Saints and LSU, because a lot of northern parts of the state, that Auckland, Texas up there, that's big Dallas Cowboy country. And I put LSU and the Saints probably head to head. I guess you'd put the Pelicans next, because they're the next, you know, pro franchise. But they've, and it's going to come up again as the draft gets closer and closer in June, because how Atlanta's front office was able to fleece Joe Dumars like they did and get that pick unprotected, I mean, that's baffling. Atlanta's going to wind up getting, I say, even if it doesn't pan out great for them, they're going to wind up with a top 4 pick. And New Orleans could have had that protected. For some reason, they didn't work on getting it protected. So I think they kind of own stuff. They don't, you know, they've got to go with what they got, and that's about it.
What about the Super Bowl? Did you take a watch of it, and what do you think?
Oh, man, I'm going to tell you what. I have never seen, not even 85 Bears dominated somebody like that for 3 quarters. And the caveat is that New England played really, really good defense. Another team could have won a Super Bowl with that defensive performance that they had. It was just Seattle was just so dominant, and they started wearing on them. But they looked like they were in a different gear all year long. They were faster than everybody. They got the ball to roll their way. They had the intangibles. Yeah, that whole division there, I wouldn't be surprised next year if the winner of the NFC comes out of the West again.
Did you watch the halftime show?
No. In
It seems like the answer everybody in around the table has given this morning is not no, but heck no, I didn't watch it.
Well, it was that, or kind of flipping around, and I had just remembered earlier in the week because I had planned on saying, I wasn't big on anyway the half times because now it's go back to the bands, dancing and stuff like that. That's what makes college so much fun. And you could showcase some bands. But anyway, it happened to be the episode where they slowly moved Chester out the door and they bring Festus in on Gunsmoke. So that's what I watched.
Hey, Deke, I watch Gunsmoke religiously, and
oh man,
I love. But the one I like the best is Miss Kitty.
Are you surprised, Deke?
No, I'm not surprised at all.
Deke,
not up in Neil.
Looking back at the Saints again, any ideas of what position they may go for with their first pick?
Some are saying they might go for get some more help around a Shuck, like a receiver or something. I think there's always room for interior or an edge rusher or interior defensive lineman. I kind of look at that. Demario Davis, do you bring somebody in that can kind of learn from him and get into that position and pick up some things? So they've got a variety of things now, but the best thing, I go back to what I said earlier, is that the way they finished those last 5-6 weeks of the season really has got them optimistic moving forward. And this team hadn't had that in a couple of years.
Deke, do you think they might look at a running back to replace Alvin Kamara?
That's something that people have talked about. And I think the young man out of Notre Dame, his name has been brought up. I mean, you saw what Charbonnet did out of Michigan before he got hurt with Seattle. You saw what Hurts did in the Super Bowl. So I can remember, guys, I know y'all know this, it was the running backs that was always picked. I mean, it would be 5 or 6 of them go in the first round. And now it's, the quarterbacks and the left tackles are kind of taking over, and the edge people. So, things kind of changed. But the way Seattle finished this season, I think people are thinking, if we got a veteran offensive line, let's put somebody else behind them. We need to control that ball some and eat some yards up and go on down the field and get in good position.
Deke, this is Richard Hay again. What would Deke do to help college sports or college football right now with the wild, wild west or whatever? What are some of your thoughts about things that could somehow change to get better? We had the fiasco yesterday, or the clown show up there in Mississippi, where they finally decided that Trinidad Chambliss was going to play.
Deke, that's a Mississippi State guy calling it that. Understand that?
I hear you.
I just want to know what your thoughts are on the current state of affairs, and if Deke could change something, what would he do?
Probably first I'd get rid of the NCAA. There's no governing body. Who do they govern? Honestly, think about it for just a second. What kind of control does the NCAA have over the Big Ten, the Big 12, the SEC, and the ACC? They can take that pot of money with all those television contracts, and now with all this money these once amateur, not amateur anymore, athletes are making, and what are they going to do? They've got the television contracts are with the conferences and each group. They're not with the NCAA. And, I mean, they've done nothing but really, right before all this stuff got even more into being physical, this past year was $20.5 million was supposed to be the cap, and it wasn't going to supersede that. Now they're saying it's going to go about so many percent, it's going to be close to $26 million. And then on that same week, the NCAA actually passed the law and voted to allow any athlete to gamble. They voted on it and said that you can go out and you can gamble. Now they got tired of being called, for 2 weeks, and they reversed that. But how are you going to be a governing body and you sanction one thing, and then you're telling these people, oh, go to Harris, you'll call your local guy, put some money down on that third horse in the race, you know? I mean, I don't know. They get in the way of themselves.
Deke, this is Neil again. Switching gears just a little bit. Are you optimistic about the long-term success for the New Orleans Pelicans?
I don't think they're going anywhere. Miss Gail Benson is, New Orleans true. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. I don't think they're going to go anywhere with the current administration. I don't think they're going to go anywhere with the current team. I mean, when Zion Williamson came in, all you heard was this new age term. There's the process, there's this, that word, the culture. There's always some kind of catch name in sports. Well, he was the quote-unquote first new generational talent. Hell, he ain't played 75 games in one season.
And not.
I mean, he's not. And look, what's sad is the top 2 picks in that draft are probably the most talented people that came out, or 2 of the most talented 15, 20 years. And there's Zion Williamson and John Moran in Memphis. And now neither one of them are panning out. One for one reason and one for another.
How is high school football in Louisiana, Deke? Is it still considered one of the best in the nation?
I think per capita it is, Uncle Robbie. It's just one of those things to where, now I think Mississippi, I'm not quite sure. I don't want to comment on something I don't know, but, these athletes on the high school level, they can go out and make money now. That's perfectly legal. Some of those kids you see sign in college, they've been made money and keep making it. And I'm not talking about no 3-piece with fries and an icebox lemon pie for Miss Ann's. I'm talking about big money. Big money. And it's only, look, they're not going to go back, Robbie. It's not going to go back.
No
thing
way.
Is going up. Yep.
Deke, this is Richard again. I'm going to take you back a little bit, big guy, because after the bad hurricane of Katrina come through, I was without power for about 3 weeks at my house. Had a little radio, and I was able to listen to WWL. Mm-hmm. And your commentary over the next, I guess, 6, 7, 8, 10 days was as much entertaining as it was anything, because I still laugh at some of the people that you had to tell that because Susie had her power over on this side of the road didn't mean that you got on your side of the road. And
mm-hmm.
I don't know, I have never had a chance to tell you that, but I don't know if all those are recorded, but they sure entertained me with nothing else to do but lay there in the dark and grill a few hamburgers. But Deke was surely entertaining during that time.
Well, it was just a time where you had to have compassion. So many people going through so many different things. And, that place, the first time I got back in the city was the week of Thanksgiving. And the Superdome on the bottom level where you park at was all underwater still. I could pull right up. It used to be, it's now Benson Town, but it used to be the Lord and Taylor building. I pulled right up there to the steps. You could park anywhere you want. I mean, it was just so desolate. But they've come a long way since then, and I'm glad things are a lot better, and I don't wish any of those storms on anybody.
All right, Dick, final question. Today, Friday the 13th. Any superstitions that the Dickster has?
No, I'm more kind of like pessimistic. Think optimism. Excuse me. I think pessimistic like style, but I'm trying to be optimistic. That's the kind of person I am. As far as superstition, no, I don't have no lucky rabbit's foot and nothing like that. And I just try to stay prayed up and hope the good Lord will keep me here as long as I can.
When do you make your way up this way, or we need to find a place in between we can get together?
Man, we got to go find one of them places like where we had that lovely dinner and saw the moon over Decatur. We got to go find one of those places, you know.
I was fixing to ask you about the moon over Decatur. We got to get together, Deke, no doubt about it. Good to talk.
We sure do.
Good to
Y'all,
talk.
look, hey, man, you call me, I'll bring the oysters.
All right. Well, we got your number now. You're in trouble.
Okay, I'll be waiting.
Good to talk to you, Deke. Thanks for being with us on this Friday morning.
Anytime. I love you guys. Y'all know that. Bye-bye.
Good to see you, Deke. Deke Belavia, the big chief out of New Orleans. I'll tell you what, if you've ever got to meet the big chief, you'll never forget him, that's for sure. He is one of a kind, that's for sure. That's the reason him and Reese got together. They were just alike, no doubt about it. Jason Baker, the voice of Southern Miss Baseball. We'll talk to him next right here on Chasing Foul Balls on SuperTalk Pike County.
Sports. And now sports.
You're listening to Chasing Foul Balls on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5 and streaming everywhere on the SuperTalk Mississippi app. Chasing Foul Balls is presented by First Bank and brought to you by East Macomb Body Shop and Guy's Pharmacy. Now back to Chasing Foul Balls on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5.
Well, welcome back. Friday morning, Chasing Foul Balls. Deke Belavia just joined us. I tell you what, one of a kind, Neil.
He absolutely is, and he can roll in any direction at any time, and he is worth the price of admission.
If you say, well, I've heard that name before, Deke Belavia was the pregame and postgame guy for the New Orleans Saints on WWL for a long time. He did the pregame and the postgame on WWL for LSU football for a while. He did like you mentioned, he anchored most of their coverage of the hurricane when it came through New Orleans. But
the thing that always impressed me about Deke, listening to their high school post shows,
did that.
He knew more about Louisiana football and knew names and teams and years back and who had rushing records and passing records. It was just amazing, his knowledge of Louisiana high school football.
We did a couple of championship games with him in the Dome, and he
no notes or nothing.
Well, he never had the roster of the opposing team.
They weren't important.
No, he didn't need him. On the phone, joining us this morning, the voice of the ESPN Plus Southern Miss Baseball Golden Eagles, Jason Baker's with us. How are you, Jason?
I'm great, Robbie, man. Great catching up, and really looking forward to being with you guys.
How you been doing?
Busy. It's been good. It's been a good athletic season. It's been a fun ride through football, and then I've been busy on the women's basketball side, and we're going to throw baseball into the mix starting this afternoon.
All right, before we get into sports, how's the fishing?
I don't get to do much fishing anymore. Boy, I wish I did. I wonder sometimes if those redfish miss me as much as I miss them, but I sit in an office with a bunch of pictures of them so I can think about them all the time. But I haven't been down. I haven't been to Delacroix and Hookdale and Venice in quite a while. But it's getting to be that time where I may find a good Tuesday of weather and find myself down there amongst them here soon.
Now, I believe a lot of stuff, but Jason Baker has not been fishing in a while. I'll have to write this down to see if I can remember it.
That's right.
Jason, this is Richard Hay. One of the best days in Mississippi sports as we know it, opening day of baseball season. And as we talked about earlier, the expectation of the Eagles are always high. But talk about where they are this year with as many key players that they had to replace. Some pitchers, middle part of the infield. But where's Coach Oz have them right now?
Well, I think this program's in a position now where I just believe the expectation doesn't drop. I think it's a program that has sort of solidified itself amongst the best in the country. And so I would think expectations right now for this team are just as high, if not higher. It is an older team, and yes, they lost, a Carson Pato and Nick Monaster. I mean, that's 21 and I believe 20 homers that you lost between just those two bats. And then you take Jake Cook and what he did a year ago. I mean, he became a big leaguer, right? I mean, he's going to be a Gold Glove winner one day at the major league level. I fully believe that. And so you take those three pieces out of the field, right, and the order, and you would think, boy, surely this offense may struggle. But when you look back at what they're going to return in Urban, Higdon, Russo, Stockman, they're going to wind up now with a Ty Long that I think is going to burst on the scene. Dre Barrett was a freshman a year ago that's going to be better. And I think they added one of the best hitters in the Sun Belt, and Kyle Morrison from South Alabama. So I just believe that it is a lineup that is as potent as a year ago, and maybe a little more potent. We'll see. It's just kind of what stock you're buying in Ty Long and Kyle Morrison. But yes, boy, the expectations, I don't think they're dropping. I mean, I think this is a team that still fully believes they're capable of getting it to Omaha, and Christian Ostrander is driven every day of his life to try to get this program back to that marvelous city.
Jason, this is Neil Randall. Looking at the schedule for the Golden Eagles, of course, you're opening today with three games over the weekend with UC Santa Barbara, probably the toughest opening of any of the Mississippi schools. But the schedule is impressive. You're going to the Round Rock Classic. You got Purdue, Oregon State, Baylor. You got three SEC schools and the conference tournament over at Montgomery. Talk about the schedule and how it should play out for Coach Ostrander.
Well, it's kind of unique, Neil. You bring up this opening weekend. There's probably not a better matchup in the country than what's going to happen in Hattiesburg. And, of course, when they schedule these things, you don't really know what you're going to get from the opponent, right? And especially in the world of the transfer portal, you don't know year to year what UC Santa Barbara is going to look like. I mean, this is a team that lost the second pick in the Major League Draft. I mean, they had an arm that's now making $8 million in Tyler Bremner. And everything that I'm reading now, the guy that's going to throw tonight may have better stuff than that kid had a year ago and is projected just as high. And so, yeah, boy, the first month of this thing is really tough. You guys, being where y'all are located, you know this. Don't sleep on that Tuesday trip to Hammond in southeastern Louisiana. Bobby Barbier is doing an incredible job. And so that's a tough one as well that we're going to catch right here, next week in the midweek. And so this program has had to do this. The RPI is such a player in getting to the postseason that Christian Ostrander understands the method. It's very front-loaded. So I think if you look at probably the first 45 days of the schedule, if this team can quote-unquote survive that, keep their head above water, whatever terminology you want to use, but come out of that unscathed, healthy, I think the back half lends this schedule to be very successful for the Golden Eagles, which they have done of late, build a lot of momentum in April and May as they head towards that Sun Belt tournament. And then, of course, they try to head towards a regional and super regional berth. And, they don't play Coastal this year, which is going to be the other kingpin in this league. And so you won't see them essentially to Montgomery. So you want to be playing your best towards the end. And I think the schedule lays out that way. It's just, can they survive early on? Can they keep their head above water as they're going to get tested? I mean, I think it's 3 consecutive midweeks they'll play SEC opponents. Alabama, who I'm being told is absolutely loaded. And you know what State's going to be, and you know what Ole Miss is going to be. So I think it's a good schedule. I think it's a tough one. It's got some teeth to it, but certainly navigable for this ball club.
Jason, this is Richard Hay once again. We know how the starting rotation looks for the weekend, and led by Kobe Allen and the other guys that are going to pitch on it. But you just talked about the games in the middle of the week that are so important for RPI standing. Who are the guys that are going to pitch in the middle of the week? Will it be a rotation set, or will it be kind of as it comes? Because Coach Oz always able to have those guys in the middle of the week that really can dominate, if not on the midweek, or do it on the weekend if they had to.
Rich, I think Oz sort of has this method to where he doesn't try to project what he's going to do until the time plays itself out. Colby Allen's the perfect example, right? Like a year ago, I thought he was going to fall into a starting role, but Ostrander just believed he was so much more valuable in that long, extended relief, high leverage moments, closing games out over 9 outs, 6 outs. And so those midweeks, you've seen him also pop Colby in a start against Mississippi State at Pete Taylor Park to be able to get off to a good start, and then rotate. Right now, I would tell you, I think the transfer from Tennessee, I would suspect Thomas Crabtree will be a midweek starter. I think Camden Sundstrom's going to fulfill some of that role. He really grew in the last month of the season a year ago. If you remember the performance that he made against Miami in that regional semifinal, pitched his butt off. And I think he's a kid that's really got some potential. I mean, the comp to his stuff was Tanner Hall. And so Christian Ostrander says, now I'm not saying he's going to turn into that, but what he's told me was he's very much same body build and same stuff makeup as what Tanner looked like as a freshman. And they're both kind of Louisiana kids, ultra competitors, very stoic in their mound presence as well. And so I think that's two names. And then they've got an arm, probably the most excited kid that I can't wait to lay my eyes on as a kid who was at Pearl River Community College a year ago in Camden Clark. Going to touch 96, 97. Everything that I've been told is they hope he's more than a one-year agreement, but he's a kid that's got a lot of potential in that arm, and I believe the scouts are fully aware of what he's got, and I can't wait to see what role Camden Clark sort of falls into for this team, and I hear it's really good stuff, so I can't wait to watch it.
Jason, who's going to be the closer this year?
You know, I wish I could put my thumb on it. Clark would be a good prospect, Robbie. But, you know, Christian Ostrander is kind of not just fallen in love with just a closer role in the last couple of years. Now, 2022, if you guys can remember back, you had Landon Harper, who's now in the Braves organization, and he sort of developed into that. But by the end of that season, Tyler Stewart was closing games out, so was Dalton Rogers and Landon Harper. I'm not trying to take this team and compare that 2022 staff because that was an elite staff. I think they've got 5 guys throwing right now, 2 in the major leagues and 3 that are well on their way to a major league contract. But I hear that we have as much depth as that team, and they tell me that there's some arms in the pen that can grow into roles. And so Clark is the name. That's the kind of the hot name, if you will, from this coaching staff that tells me that's who they would like it to be. They think he's got the demeanor and the makeup and the pitchability to come in and throw a lot of strikes, because that's what you need, right? You need a guy that's going to keep guys off the base pass and slam the door and get out of there clean. And so now whether he does that as a 3-out closer or more of a stopper role, you know, between 3 to 9 outs, I guess that's to be determined. The performances under the lights will dictate what that role looks like for this club. I don't think there's one that's just down there right now that knows, hey, if it's 1-0 in the ninth, he's coming to me right now. Tonight, I think Christian Ostrander has sort of left that up to interpretation because it may be the guy that he puts in the 7th and just lets him ride that thing out and get the win, and I guess time will only tell us that.
Jason, this is Neil again. You mentioned James Madison being one of the favorites along with Southern Miss. Tell us a little bit about the rest of the Sun Belt Conference.
Yeah, I think Troy's going to be ultra competitive. Of course, Coastal Carolina returns quite possibly the best arm in the entire country in Cameron Flukie. You know, Kevin Schnall was in that, had that team in the national title against LSU a year ago. I really like a coach that's at Arkansas State right now, Mike Silva. He was at Nichols. Matter of fact, I think he beat this program twice while he was at Nichols. Now he's at Arkansas State. They're really beginning to invest in their baseball program there. I think they're kind of a quiet, sleeping type team. And then Georgia State's a team in this league that can always hit. And I believe when you kind of get into that conference schedule, the teams that are hitting it the best at that point can really cause you some problems, especially when you're a team that's so pitcher-focused as the Golden Eagles. And so I think those are sort of the names, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Louisiana's good and competitive again. South Alabama, I don't think you can ever just shake them down and think they're not going to be competitive. And the Sun Belt's become a respected league. I mean, I would tell you, I think if you take the Power 4 conferences out in this country, I would think you could stack the Sun Belt right there outside of them and compete against them. And so I fully believe it'll be that kind of year again through the Sun Belt play.
Well, Jason, final 2 questions. 9 years, 40 wins in a row. That's a pretty good streak. Can the Golden Eagles keep that rolling?
I hope, man. I think it's one of the great stats of the program, right? It's just the model of consistency that they've done in the past. And, you link that back to Scott Berry, but it even goes back further with what Hill Denson did and Corky Palmer and then Scott Berry and the stepping stone that he gave off to Christian Ostrander. And so I hope the schedule's very loaded early. I think this team needs to get off to a good start in the late February, early March, and then I think they're fully capable of winning 40.
How is it doing baseball at the Pete?
Magical. That's how I would describe it, Robbie. It's unlike anything I've ever encountered from a broadcaster standpoint. The fans, and I don't know if it's just because college baseball seems to be growing in notoriety across the country. I think ESPN Plus has brought that to where you can click on your TV any given night and watch some college baseball. And I have more fan engagement in the next 3 months with people coming in and out of that park than I do all year at my other sporting events. And that's not to knock the other sports. It's just to tell you what the passion and fervor and just the way this fan base and this athletic program has developed. And I respect it, cherish it. I cannot wait. I'm in my insurance office right now, but I'm foaming at the mouth to get in that truck and head north here in probably about an hour.
Final question. How is our buddy Missy Bilderback doing?
We are on a grind right now. Her teams are fighting hard. We just have some bad luck. A big injury over at App State really set us back, and we lost our best post player for the year. Lost a tough one last night to Louisiana Monroe, but I believe in Coach Bilderback and know that she's got the goods and the mindset and the ability to find a way to get this program turned around. And basketball season is a marathon, man, and it gets long and it gets tiring, and it takes an endurance and a mindset to be ready to kind of fight through this early portion of February, if you will. And this team's just not playing its best, but that happens from time to time. And, really what matters is can you play your best for a week in March down in Pensacola, and I hope she can find a way to get this team to do that.
Jason, thanks for spending some time with us this morning. We sure appreciate it, man.
You bet, Robbie. Great catching up, my guys, and appreciate all of you and the coverage of Southern Miss. And you guys come see us at Pete Taylor Park.
We will. We'll be watching you this afternoon, no doubt about it.
Awesome. Thanks, Robbie.
Thank you, Jason Baker, voice of the Southern Miss Golden Eagles on ESPN Plus. Well, guys, it's that time. College baseball is going to kick it off here shortly. It ought to be a great season.
Yeah, Robbie, I think about the many opening days that I was able to participate at the Dude, and the grills will be going good. Be bright sunshine. A lot of Neil's favorite pops will be flowing. And
is that with the foam on top?
And somewhere in the middle of that, they'll play a baseball game. Is one thing I learned a long time ago, Neil, when some of those big games back in the early 80s, they were more social events than they was a party wrapped around a baseball game.
There you go.
One final question for both of you. Central Daylight Time. Are you for Central Daylight Time to be permanent, or do you want to keep swapping back and forth?
I just wish they'd pick one and stay with it.
Well, I agree with Richard. But
I don't care which one they take. Just pick one and stay.
I would prefer God's time, Central Daylight Time. Just leave it alone.
Just pick one and be with it, because we can adjust to anything. But this constant.
Well, it takes me 2 or 3 days to adjust.
2 or 3 days? It takes me about a month. And the cows get out of whack. That's what.
No, not the cows.
Here we go. Not the cow. The cows.
See, they operate on 12 and 12.
Oh.
You start going 10, 14, all that other kind of stuff. They look at you like, what's the deal here?
Sunrise or sunset? Which are you?
Ooh, Robbie. I'm glad to see the sun rise.
Oh, I'm always proud to see it rise.
If I get to see it set, okay, but I'm glad to see it rise.
Mr. Randall?
Sunrise.
You a rise person?
Yeah, but I don't always see it rise.
Some people have to tell us about it, but
have you seen sunrise except coming in?
time or two.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
Chasing foul balls right here on Super Talk Pike County. Glad to be with you this Friday morning. Our thanks to our buddy Deke Belavia joining us, and Jason Baker. It's been a lot of fun. We'll come back and join you next Friday morning right here on Super Talk Pike County. Chasing foul balls, of course, presented by First Bank.
Party ain't over. Well, everybody's really having fun. So shake it loose and let it come undone. There's only one thing that I wanna do, and that's to dance the night away with you. I've been working hard all week long, and I'm not ready to be going home. Turn up the music, keep the lights down low. I know it's late, but I don't wanna go. Don't turn out the lights, the party ain't over. Well, the band just started to play my favorite song. I just found my baby and I wanna get a chance to hold her. So don't turn out the lights, the party ain't over. I just want a little time to dance, and tomorrow we can sleep all day. Before tonight we'll let the music play. You remember how it used to be? I love the way that you would dance with me, rocking and rolling till the clock unwinds, and then we'd holler out one more time. Don't turn out the lights, the party ain't over. Well, the band just started to play my favorite song. I just found my baby and I wanna get a chance to hold her. So don't turn out the lights, the party ain't over. I said don't turn out the lights, don't turn out those lights, don't turn out the lights, the party ain't over.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.